Hello, Flosstube. It's time for my next update. I have my notes over here to the right, so if I look that way, that's what I'm doing. It's been 2 weeks since my last update. Last week I did upload a spring and summer whip parade. I have too many whips to do them all in one video, so I kind of do them by seasons. But we will, excuse me, I'm battling a cold that my grandson gave me, so we will get started. So I have one finish. I couldn't quite get another one finished before today, but this is the burst sampler for my second grandson. And the name of the pattern is Woodland Friends. I believe it's by Little Dove. But I swapped out, there's some more mushrooms and flour down at the bottom, and I took that out and put his name and birth date in there. And since it doesn't have his last name, I decided I was okay showing it. And this was stitched on 32 count Barb's Blend by R&R. So now I just need to get it framed. That's my only finish. I have another one that's very close. So we'll go into whips now. And this is Tortoise Tower. This is what it will look like when it's finished by Plum Street. I love all these tower ones, and it is almost there. So all that's left is there's some black, these open spots here and these big flowers is black, and there's a black border all the way around, and then these few little yellow stitches up there are part of a bee. Oops. So it is almost done, and there's some back stitches on their feet for like little claws or little something. So I'm hoping to get that one finished this weekend. It's going to be a gift for my niece who is graduating from college in May. All right, I'm gonna try and keep a little bit organized. My full coverage that I worked on, Tortoise Tower, I stitched 1,682 stitches since the last Flosstube, and it is on 32 count Bramble by Picture This Plus. All right, and my full coverage that I'm working on is Beachcomber's Bounty this month. So I do work on a different full coverage every month. I have been working on it on Fridays for Full Coverage Friday, but I am going to change that up for May, and I'll talk about that in my plans. I'll have to put a picture in of what this one will look like when it's finished, and I'm converting this one to Royal Rose. So this is where I am now. Unfortunately, since I'm converting it to Royal Rose, all I have is just the blue. I don't get any of this fun starfish. But I probably won't go too many more over, and then I'll start going down. I don't want to go all the way across. That would take too long. This one I stitched 1,083 stitches since my last update. And this is 1/1 full cross on 28 count easy guide. I never can remember which is easy guide, which is easy count, but this is the one I get from 1, 2, 3 stitch. All right, I did have a new start. So this is a stitch along, and it's a mystery stitch along, so we don't have the full the full pattern, but I'll put a picture in of what we do have so far. And this is where I am. It's Greenhouse of Oddities by Lola Crow. And so what we have now is the full greenhouse outline. So I've just been working on the top. And I put in 824 stitches. That's how many there are there. So hopefully I can get back to working on that. I have never kept up with the stitch along, and I decided this one looked fun. I wanted, because I did her, I started on her Haunted Library last year. I have not finished it. So I thought, okay, I'm going to start this one and see if I can keep up with it. So we'll see. I think I forgot to tell you what that's stitched on. It is stitched on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha Witched. Okay. Next is my seasonal, and I usually do these on Sunday. So for the spring season, for me, I'm counting at March, April, and May, the months I'm not, the actual official start of spring. I'm just doing those 3 months. And I am doing Let me get the pattern out so you can see what it's going to look like. If I can get it. There we go. So this is Spring Quakers by Rosewood Manor. Yeah, that picture doesn't do it justice at all, because it's on a really pretty green. Hopefully it will show up. This is where I am. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I've been working in this area, and I only did 369 stitches on this since the last Flosstube, because I started that greenhouse of oddities. So I think one Sunday I didn't work on it when I should have. Okay. Yeah, I told you how many. And then I do Mirabilia. Have been doing it on Monday. So for the month of April, it was Dressmaker's Daughter. And this is what it will look like when it's finished. One of my favorites, when this one came out in 2012, so it's an old one. I wanted to get it and start it right away. And I probably started it, I don't know, probably that year or the next one. So I'm working, I have summer completed, except for the beads. I'll wait and do the beads at the end. And I've been working on autumn. And so I did only 173 stitches in the last 2 weeks. I only worked on it one night. I was also working on my tortoise tower a little extra, trying to get it finished. I need to have it finished when I go up to see my parents next weekend. But I was just filling in background, which is kind of nice if you want to get a lot of stitches quickly. You're just filling in like that. There's no counting. All right, so that's everything I worked on. All right, so let me talk about plans. I'm going to change up the way I'm doing things. So I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and you count your stitches and post them, wherever you need to for that group. With me doing seasonal Sunday, Mira Monday, full coverage Friday, working on something else during the week, whatever I want on Saturday. I mean, there's a lot of back and forth posting. Like I may work on, Tortoise Tower, then I may work on something else and then back. So I had seen, and I can't remember who it was, and I've seen a couple of ladies talking about it on Flosstube, and I don't remember who it was now, but they're going to do, I forget what they called it, 5 for 5. So they pick out 5 projects, and they work on them for 5. They work on one for 5 days, and they switch to the next project. So I'm going to try that for May. I'm not going to do Stitch Mania. I'm in Whip Warrior, so I can't start unless I finish something. And I mean, I've got a couple that are, getting close, but I already have things that I want to start. Too many things. So I'll still have a Mira that I work on every month, a full coverage, and a seasonal. But instead of working on them a specific day, I'll just work on them for 5 days and then work on something else. And I don't know what order I'll do these. I haven't figured that out. I do want to be sure that I take something with me next weekend when I'm traveling that I could work on in the car, because I can stitch in the car as long as I don't have to count too far away. So with my seasonal, my Mira, and my full coverage, and then one like miscellaneous, which I've had always done the wheel for, that gives me 4, so that leaves 1 extra spot. And I decided for now to put in a stitch along. We'll see. This may change next month. It may change in the middle of May. I don't know, but we're going to try it. So for my seasonal, I'll still do the seasonal Quakers. I'll do that for 1 more month. So that will be in May. And then for my Mira, I'm going to go back to Wherefore Art Thou, and I'll have to put a picture in of what it will look like, because this was a mystery stitch along when I purchased it. This is, I'm not sure what it's on. I need to look that up and make a card to put in here so I know if I can figure it out. But this is where I'll be starting from. This is almost the width of it. I think I'm not sure if there's a little bit more. It's pretty close. But I've been working in her dress down in here. As a matter of fact, there's still a string hanging here. But that's what I'll be working on in May for my Mirabilia. So I'm hoping to finish that tortoise tower before May starts because I don't have a spot for it and I need to get it finished. So we'll see. And then for my full coverage in May, I'm going to be working on the Quick Stitch Psyche's Butterflies. So this is artwork by Josephine Wall and charted by Heaven and Earth. And I had started this one a long time ago before I had anything digital. So I actually do have the paper pattern, but then I bought it digitally because once I found Pattern Keeper, I didn't want to go back to paper. And this is where I am. I'm doing it in Royal Rose. It's so fun to see it on camera like that because you can really see the butterfly and the other flowers. So I'll be working on that for 5 days in May for my full coverage. And then my miscellaneous wheel spin was Bord de Mer. So this is, I'm not sure how you say her name. It's French. If it was Spanish, I could pronounce it. But Madame Lefay, this is what it will look like when it's done. And this is on the Quick Stitch Butterflies is on a 25 count even weave. That was before I started working on 28 count. And this is on a 32 count Misty Rain. I'm not sure who that's made by, but here's where I am on that. And last time I was working up in the border, so I don't know where I'll go this time. Maybe I'll do something more down here, get into something a little more interesting. But it's really going to be pretty, and I have a bathroom that is nautical or ocean themed, so that's where I want to put it someday when it's done. But doing this Whip Warriors has certainly kept me focused on what I already have started, although I've had a few starts because I finished some things. And then for the stitch along, I'm going to work on the Greenhouse of Oddities that I showed you earlier. So maybe I can get that done. We have until the end of May to get that whole greenhouse outline done. So like I said, I'm going to try and keep up with that one. Okay. Those are my plans. Now, haul. So I did get an order from 123 Stitch. I usually get all my Mirabilia and Nora Corbett from them. My LNS doesn't carry these. They have a few, but they don't get the new ones in, so I just order them from 123 Stitch. So this one is Camille in Bloom, and it's a Mirabilia, so it's a little bigger one. And all that black is stitched. But isn't she beautiful? Look at those flowers. And there's a new one out now that I've asked 123 Stitch to let me know when it's available. And I can't remember the name of it. But I'll show you when I get it. And this is Winter Folly. So this is part of her, it's a series. I'm trying to see if I can see what the name of the series is. Winter Greenhouses. Took me a minute, but this is Winter Folly. And these have water lilies in them, so some of the variegation that you're seeing, and then a bunch of beads, as always. So that'll be pretty. I bet all of that blue in here, I bet all of that is a water lily. That looks variegated. And then a couple more Nora Corbetts. This is in the Petal Pusher, so this is Orange Princess. I pretty much collect all of Nora Corbett and Mirabilia's. I mean, I don't have all the alphabet ones, but I have most of them. And this is also part of Petal Pushers. This is Angelique Tulip. So pretty. All right, and then my friends and I are going to start the Stitch Along. I don't know if Primrose Cottage is hosting it. I don't remember who's hosting it, but the Welcome to the North Pole Stitch Along. I think it starts June 1st, and you're supposed to do 1 row a month for 6 months, and then you'll be done by December. And so we went ahead and kitted up. We got fabric is 32 count taupe Lugana. Let me see. So it's a long piece, and then we picked up whatever floss we didn't already have, and it's a bunch of overdyed. I'm trying to see if I can grab them. Really pretty colors. So we will be starting that June 1st. So I have to have something finished by then so that I can start it. And then I had to purchase another stitch along, and I haven't pulled fabric for this. I'm going to look and see if I have any in my stash that will work. And this is called, I just have the piece that has the floss on it. So I think it's like Ocean's Pearl. It's by Tiny Modernist, and I'll put a picture in of what we know so far. Again, it's a mystery one. But I did pull the floss that I did go ahead and purchase while I was at my L&S the other day. The floss that I didn't have. And oh my goodness, look at those beautiful colors. So I'm dying to start it too. Like, I need another stitch along, but oh, it's so pretty. So I'll have to do a floss toss and see if I can find some fabric in my stash that will work for that. And then just a few charts that I picked up. This is Big City Christmas Restaurant. So I'm doing these on one long strip, and you've seen it. If you've watched my Flosstube before, you've seen it in the past. I haven't worked on it for a while. And then this is a brand new by Little House Needleworks, another one of their petites. This is Hello Sunshine. And I really need to get on, let me look on the back because it tells you. You can get Starry Night Studio on Etsy. You can get these tags, and they're already cut with the fabric on them for all of these petites. And I need to start collecting those because that would be so handy. All you have to do then is put your stitched piece on a piece of mat board or mounting board and put it on there, you'll be done. And then I picked up a couple from October House Fiber Arts. This is the Itch to Stitch. I think these were both, well, this one I know it was a market release. I'm not sure about the other one. It might have been, I can't remember. And this is Snip Snip. They're just fun little ones and nice skinny ones. And then I had picked up, is it called Honey Fair or Honeybee Fair? This is also by October House Fiber Arts from Market. And I said, oh, I would like the strawberry one too. So it came in. So there's Strawberry Fair. So pretty. What does it use? So it looks like it uses a mix of Classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works. So that'd be really pretty. And then the ink circles, I think this was another Market one. Blue tulips. Really pretty. All right, that is it. So hopefully my plans will go well in the next 2 weeks, and I should be back in 2 weeks. Well, I probably won't have time. At some point, I may do a Flosstube of previous finishes. I have a bunch hanging up stairs in the closet on pants hangers that I've finished stitching, but I've never fully finished. And I'm like, I might do a Flosstube extra and show you some of those. But regardless, I should be back in 2 weeks with an update. You can see how much I've accomplished in those 2 weeks. All right, thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.